What could a girl have that I...
Bart begins to have a sneaky romantic relationship with Jimbo's girlfriend, and what could possibly go wrong about this? This story begins with some really cool drawn animation of Homer and his couch, how he meets it, and its love at first sight, how they run in the flowers, their first date, and how nobody accepts their love, and how they have their first premarital, sweet, consensual missionary, how a baby was born from that relationship, how this one betrays the poor couch with Marge, how Homer really marries her. Wow, poor couch was only used to have a premarital relationship, so sad. Since Homer didn't accept their child, the couch must do certain jobs to make ends meet and provide for his little thing. But when everything it's about to end, Homer saves the couch from a tragic ending, and a reconciliation happened where everyone is happy. Wow, it was somewhat weird, but honestly one of my favourite intros from this show. The episode itself starts with Homer, Bart and Milhouse at the cinema trying to choose a suitable movie for kids. Homer finally chooses the Trolls movie version, which Bart considers is for babies, but in the end, his father doesn't listen to him and leaves them there and goes to eat. Homer eats quite a lot, and after deciding to eat the fortune cookie and leaving the paper that said, "Eat less, live longer," he starts feeling very bad, almost unable to breathe.
Sir, I can't help but noticing that you are very near death.
Closer than you think.
Because, his veins are probably clogged with fat. Homer arrives at the entrance of a sports store where a salesman tells him to come in with yoga balloon that he uses to move. The seller shows him a very luxurious treadmill that even has a TV to watch series, or even better, more videos from this Alex Simpson channel. How great. It will be nice if you subscribe, by the way. Homer says he doesn't have the money to buy it. It's too much.
You can't afford $300 a month?
No.
Well, what about $10 a day?
Easy!
But the salesman convinces him by showing him a payment plan that only an idiot could refuse. And so, he ends up accepting. Meanwhile, Bart gets out the baby's movie and runs into Jimbo and his boys, who make fun of him.
My friend and I only see it to rank on it.
They were going to watch a very disturbing horror movie. Jimbo was with his new girlfriend Shauna, who didn't want to go see that movie, preferring to watch a classic Jennifer Aniston film where she always rolls her eyes. The problem is that Jimbo doesn't want her to go alone because the girl is a magnet for perverts. So he chooses Bart to accompany her, as he is still a total pre-puber, terrible mistake. Jimbo asks him never to leave Shauna's side. That's how Bart enters the theatre with Shauna to watch the romantic movie, which to surprise of absolutely no one is very boring. And then they go out to the burrito shop where Shauna flirts with the vendor to get some burritos. Bart intervenes and tells the girl not to deceive Jimbo.
I gotta go sort tortillas, corn, flour.
But she assures him that her boyfriend doesn't care about her and isn't attentive. But the girl realizes Bart Games is on another level.
But I read at a second grade level. They think I might have a problem.
Wow.
Later, Jimbo comes to get Shauna and Homer comes to get his son, and he is very happy for saving some cash on the delivery charges. Jimbo tells him that the next day he has another date with his girlfriend, something that the girl seems to like since he will be busy stealing lunches. On the other hand, we see Homer on his treadmill exercising, something totally unknown and uncommon for him. What's happening with his arms? Are they crying? Just then, Lisa arrives and realizes the treadmill has a TV that connects to the internet and thus can download entire seasons of series that already aired. Or even he can subscribe to this channel. Alright, I'll stop now. That's how he starts looking for series and finds one called Stranded. Lisa tells him it's about a group of people who get isolated on a mysterious island full of religious and scientific paradoxes. Basically, it's the Simpsons version of Lost. Lisa says it was good, but actually only the first and the last season were interesting. Homer doesn't care at all because he still starts watching it, filling himself with many unanswered questions.
And I'm sure everything they said will pay off handsomely.
Our dear Homer gets quite hooked on the first episode of the series, and thus decides to install a chair on the treadmill. That's some good exercising, Homer. Meanwhile, Bart accompanies Shauna to a personal care store, where she steals some things and is caught by the guard, but Bart, all nervous about what Jimbo might do if he knows his girlfriend is in trouble.
I'll beat you up from inside your brain.
So he decides to take the blame for the theft, and the officer takes him away. But with Bart's tricks, he manages to get out with an explosion, which, honestly, it's pretty badass. If you do that to any girl, you will have them a river down there. Shauna can't believe that Bart took the blame for her, and in gratitude, she decides to show him her boobs.
What could a girl have that I... Oh my God, it's just like Dad's.
Back at home, while having dinner with a still impressed Bart seeing boobs practically everywhere, Homer gets up from the table saying he would go exercise, but actually goes to continue watching the series. Marge wonders, how is it possible that if he exercises all the time, he still looks the same, which Grandpa tell her he surely is lying, since even Homer's first words was a lie.
Who did this? Mammy. She did? Then I'm gonna withhold affection without telling her why.
Then he's caught by Marge, who tells him either he exercises with the expensive treadmill or returns it. Homer and Marge argue about this. Meanwhile, at school, Jimbo brings Shauna back to Bart to take care of her. The boy seizes the moment to tell the girl that Jimbo is an idiot and doesn't deserve her, something that Shauna liked.
I forgot to grope you goodbye.
Back to Homer, who had already returned the treadmill to keep watching the series, finally getting answers to many of his questions. Then, Marge comes in to seduce Homer, but he rejects her to keep watching the series, something that clearly annoyed his wife.
Can I wait another 104 hours?
So Homer remains obsessed with all the questions the series leaves him.
What does it mean?
It means I'm mad.
And even with many questions about his own life. On the other hand, Bart and Shauna start dating, beginning a tremendous love relationship, doing many, but many
In restless walk she'll
things together. What a champ. In the end, both have a good time at the pool, but are soon discovered by Jimbo, who says that Bart doesn't receipt him that much, and finally shows up what's under the wool hat. Oh wow, that's disgusting. With the help of his minions, the bald kid beats Bart, but he manages to escape before they can do more harm. Bart runs as fast as he can home while, of course, having some fun because he's chill like that. But there, he realizes that Jimbo and the others are waiting for him to keep beating him. Then Shauna comes to where Bart is hiding,
Why do men always think with their tongue?
and even though he tells her to go back to Jimbo, she tells him that he told her Jimbo doesn't deserve her, so Bart decides to take her with him. Bart and Shauna go to the comic book store where Shauna gets into an online fight with the store owner, as apparently he's also a bully, a cyberbully. Back to Homer, he's formed a discussion group about the Simpsons Lost series at home. Homer struggles to avoid spoilers for the series, but Marge, annoyed because he doesn't let Maggie sleep, ends up giving him the complete spoiler of everything, which upsets Homer because Marge ruined the series.
Now it's time to talk about what Carl wants.
Jimbo and his friends keep guarding the entrance of the Simpsons' house, preventing Bart from approaching home, so he tries to solve it with Shauna, but it seems impossible. Then Lisa arrives and tells him she knew everything he had done, waiting for the moment he would need her help, and offers to make a deal. But just then, they are discovered by Jimbo.
The lamb has returned to the slaughter.
Whoa, you should write that down, man.
However, Lisa intervenes and tells Jimbo that Shauna doesn't have to choose anyone, but should think about herself. The girl realizes that Lisa is right and needs to find out who she is, something only an inappropriately older man can tell her. That means she's going to look for a sugar daddy from now on. Just then, Marge tells Lisa to get in. It's time for bed. Lisa tells Bart to seize the moment to escape, but Jimbo stops him, though he forgets what he wanted to do with him. That's convenient. Homer laments that Marge ruined the series, but she calls Homer to the bedroom, and as he enters, his wife among palm trees and water, Marge offers to recreate the last episode of the series, but if the show was from an adult website, Homer accepts, and just as he's about to close the window, he sees his son hanging from Jimbo's hand, but Bart reassures him that he's just showing him the fear of God. Homer stays calm but asks him not to approach the window, so Homer returns to the arms of his beloved Marge and they kiss. The pictures zoom out from Springfield into space, where we see God versus the evil arm wrestling, like this classic picture. Far away we see some Futurama character, and it ends with sand grains in a cat litter box. This is not the last time Bart gets into trouble, like the time he wanted to make a hardcore prank. He enters the deep web to make some purchases. So if you want to know what happens, check this video next. But before, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like.